All right, so I'm just looking around on maps, and I wanted to just go over this really quick with all of the new developments with the leads that were called in to the TBI for summer. So I had made a community post, and I wanted to make note of when Candace retracted the order of protection against Don, just like little idiosyncrasies or coincidences. And I don't normally believe in coincidences. I don't know if maybe sometimes there are signs or maybe something might be important. So I shared the screenshot of when the court clerk accidentally wrote 110 Van Hill Road. I believe that was actually an error, and the court clerk wrote Van Hill Road instead of Ben Hill Road. But I still included it in the community post. I thought it was important. And also, Don Wells did get pulled over for driving off the road and was arrested and held at Hawkins County Jail for violating his probation. That was, I think he had a blood alcohol level of 0.13. So that happened on Van Hill Road. There was also a story where Candace and Don were allegedly spotted. I do not have proof of this. Nobody ever provided proof of it, but it was said that Don and Candace were seen walking out of the woods on Van Hill Road and that they were in Don's white truck. So I had made that community post and then I figured, let me jump on Google Maps and just check out the area. So this Google Maps actually stops in between 3,700 and 3,573, I think. So in between 3,500 and 3,700, there is no visibility on Google Maps, but it's just a very small area. So it's literally so where there's no lines on the road right here, like you can barely see them. Down here by that sign is where it cuts off. So I'll just bring you to the farthest point that I can on this. I already screen recorded to the point that I could get to on Google Maps and where it stops. And it's like literally just a small section, and it's right here. So this here, I believe, is 3,700. I don't remember the exact number, but I screen recorded it. Depending on how I put this together, I may have already gone over it. I may have not. But either way, this area here is where I would say the 3,500 block starts. There is no 3,600. That's interesting. Maybe it's like a little treehouse type deal. There's a bunch of kids' toys in this yard, so I imagine kids live here. So down the road this way, actually, further, there's a tree trimming truck also, which I don't know, could be a sign too. You just never know sometimes. Life is funny that way. So let me turn around a little bit because I want to bring you guys down here. If I was not so busy in life, I might take a trip out here, but that's not really in the cards right now for me. Although I would love to go to Tennessee, and hopefully I will get there sooner rather than later. I don't know if this all will amount to anything. I'm still praying and hoping that Summer is alive. I've always felt in my heart that she is. I don't know what was called in. Maybe something of her belongings was found. It does not necessarily mean that she's no longer with us. Until we have proof telling us otherwise, I'm going to go with the fact that she is still here. And I want her to be alive. I want her to have a future. I want her to heal from whatever's been done to her. And it would be nice for Summer to have a happy ending. So I'm just going to keep putting out the positivity that that will be so. Um, so here's where the 3500 block really starts as far as Google Maps goes. So there's like a little turnaround right here on the road. I don't know if anybody in the area plans to go out here, maybe look around or whatever. I noticed all of the hills out here. It's beautiful in Tennessee. Honestly, I would move to Tennessee in a heartbeat. One day maybe I will move south. I'm not sure, but I cannot imagine living in the north forever. So, either way, all of God's beauty, North Carolina, Tennessee, all of it's beautiful. Okay, so I didn't come down all the way this far yet, so let's see what's down here. I bet in the winter when it snows, this is really pretty right here. Okay, so let's see. What's over here? I mean, there's a lot of wood that's cut up out here, piles of wood, sheds, junk, cars, all kinds of things. So I was looking at this thinking, hmm, I mean, is it possible Summer could be up on the hill somewhere if she was not any longer here? I think it is. Um, I just thought that spot was a little bit interesting, but just to like give a idea of what it looks like, it is interesting to me because I've never been out here. And if I had, I would totally be driving around and checking things out and, just sightseeing, getting a feel for the area and whatnot. Like I said, it is beautiful out here. Okay, let's see what the mailbox number says here. Also, if you notice, the address says 4398 Van Hill Road, but the actual address of Google Maps does not match what's on the mailbox. So the physical address is actually different than what map shows, and it's off by quite a bit, actually. So something to keep in mind. I was watching someone earlier and they were kind of having trouble finding things. What does this say? You can't really even see that mailbox. For sale. So this was 2024 when all this was taken. The McCray Real Estate Group. Um, Whatever's back there, I bet it's pretty. Let's see. Let me see if I can see this a little better. It actually looks like it might be blurred. Let's see. I would really wish that that mailbox was more visible. Let me see on the other side. Maybe we might be able to see on this side here. No, there's no numbers on it. I could see what was for sale here in 2024 and figure out the physical address of this spot, only to see what the actual address is. Okay, so that would be the building on the property. Apologize if anybody sees their house. I'm not trying to snoop on your house or anything. Just trying to get a lay of the land, basically, and check out what this spot is all about. A lot of hills out here. This is like a dream come true for people that love to hike. I personally love to hike. I love taking walks. I love being out in the woods. Okay, so this is Widow Hollow Road. A nice little kept up area. You can even go down this road on Google Maps. Most of the time you can't. So this is a little retention pond by the road. I know a lot of people said that there was a pond that Candace loved to fish at. I cannot see anything nefarious going on here out on a main road. So for those who are looking at this pond and insinuating Summer's in there, I think that if she was, law enforcement would probably have a pretty good grasp on that. Oh, let me come back. I mean, like, has anybody gotten on Google Maps just to see? This is why I do this, so that, like, we can actually see stuff, because I cannot imagine that. Can I get up here? I might have to back out of the maps again. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to take me. Come out further, and I'll come right there. Oh, hold on. Come up a little bit more. Get on this road. Okay, here we go. So, let's see. This is a pretty little spot. And this looks like a creek here along the roadway. Oh, there's a little chimney on that shed, a garage. Okay, let's keep going. I'm actually going to check out the property data and see some of the names of the people that live here. I am wondering if this has already turned into um, like 4,200, but a lot of these homes and the roadway, it skips hundreds of numbers, so I do wish that Google Maps would let you scroll up like faster. Still, it is like pretty neat just to look. Like, look at all this vast land. It's so wide and there's so much area here to cover. For those that are searching for summer, my hat is off to you, because this is a lot of land, and it's just got to be so much to go through and sort through, climb up and check everything out. Um, there actually was a spot when I was looking at the aerial view, and there were tree branches that were pretty big. I'd actually call them tree logs, and they were in the shape of an X, and I thought that was interesting. I'm not gonna assume anything too crazy, but it did stand out to me, not gonna lie. I do take note of things like that because people do mark spots like that. So, all right, let's check this out here. Haven't seen a mailbox in a while, so I'm just trying to. Oh wow, there's some cows out here. Interesting. Hmm. That made me think of when Jody said that the scream came from the area of the cows. Okay. Are there pillars on this house? That's interesting also. Okay, I'm not going to get into all the things that have been said in the past or anything like that, but that's that stands out to me. I'll be honest, especially with the cows and the pillars, because it was said specifically in the same context that there was a White House with pillars across from the cows. So again, my apologies to anybody if you are watching this and this might be your property. I am not targeting you, just being nosy and looking around. And I'm also not on your actual property, so nor would I ever do that if I was there in person either. Okay, let's see. Is there a number here? Check it out. 4250. Okay, so I was right. It skipped like several hundred. So we're gonna go back. Let's do it this way. So 35 Van Hill is right around here. I want to say it's on this corner. So it would be like in between here, if I'm correct. Let me see again. Yeah. So we don't have the number of that. So this is pretty much the spot that, if I'm correct, I would imagine this is pretty much the spot. Because 3500 is right back here, and 3500 skips to 3700 going this way, and the numbers get lower going back in the other direction, as you just saw. So this is really the 3500 block. I think it's funny that they call it a block because this does not remind me of a city block at all. See, like, I wish I could see. Let's go up here on the aerial view. There's so much land here. And I want you to take notice of how close 3500 Van Hill Road is to Baileyton. Please do not let it be lost on you just how close this truly is. And we all know what went on in Baileyton. Beach Creek Missionary Baptist Church, Mount Carmel Free Will Baptist, Laurel Run. So this is pretty condensed here. So they've got 3500 Van Hill right here. Timberfall Resort. Hughes Branch. So also, please note that this is really, this is pretty high elevation right here. This is actually super condensed and it's deep. So let's see what this, so we can get a good look. I like to get on map. I love getting on maps. I miss doing this. It's been a long time since I've been able to do this. Okay, so where's that corner again? I think, let me check something real quick. Once I get a little bit more familiar with the map, it's easier. This doesn't look familiar to me. 1840. Okay, so we're gonna go back. So it's up here. Let me just get down here real quick too. Oh, okay. Let's look at October 2021. Okay. And it says 2583 Van Hill, but that is not an accurate address. I would love for someone local to cover this area. And not Ryan Feinstruth. That would be great. Okay, let me come back down here. Okay, so Paradise Hollow. So this is actually where 3500 sits around. And if I recall, let's see something. Yeah, this is 3500-ish, right around here. Um, 2951. So it goes from, let's see, come on, Google Maps, get it together. I'd love to know exactly what the address was of Don's arrest when he got picked up for drunk driving. I think that would be very interesting. Van Hill Road is a really long road, so it could have been in a completely different location than where they're searching, but I mean, it's still something to take note of. And really, it could mean nothing at all, but I just put it on the community tab just to point it out, keep it fresh in our mind. So, okay, this is what I wanted to point out real quick. So, I think this is where I saw the tree trimming truck, and it's like almost as if are we on the right track because of the tree trimmers and like I said before, just like a little sign, not sure. So this is 3200. So up here further, like I said, I'm going to do the land property values so I can see the actual owners of the land and, trusts and such. I just wanted to pull up here. Let's take a look real quick. If anybody knows what this area is all about, what maybe even like, is this a garage where people, Hills, okay, so Hills Tree Service. It's like we really have no idea where Summer is. We have no idea if, like I said, it could just be her coat, it could be her shoe, it could be anything that has led law enforcement here to this area. And it doesn't mean Summer's out here. It doesn't mean they found any kind of remains or anything like that. What is this a number? 3310. Okay, so that is 3310. Keep going up. I really want to show you where the road stops coming from this direction. It's right, actually, it's like right up around this curve. It's where the road changes color a little bit. And like I'm not stumbling upon any kind of revelation or information. I'm just gonna bring you along for basically what I do in my free time. And I have free time, so 3396. And as you can see down here, Google Maps has this noted as 3954. So I ran into this with Snaps Ferry Road long ago. And actually, me and Cam got into it because he was telling me that 333 Snaps Ferry I can't remember if he said it didn't exist or we just did not see eye to eye. There are addresses for emergency personnel to pick up like an ambulance or fire truck, things like that. So, emergency services. They do not actually match Google Maps, which is crazy. You would think that they would, but they don't. I don't remember what the reason was, but either way, this is something I've actually seen before. Okay, so I think the road stops here, Google Maps, so you can only go backwards. So that's where I wish I could come through this area, but it's not a big deal because right on the other side of this sign, we can see in the other direction. Um, so let me grab this. And you can see down here it says 4012 Van Hill, but that is not the actual address. So, um, of course, when I grab the aerial view, I lose my spot a little bit. Oh, yeah, see, it brought me all the way back. So come up here a little bit. See if that's better. Yeah, okay. So we're right beyond this little spot where Google Maps pops off. And you can see Greene County, Van Hill Road. So this is the Greene County line. Maybe that's why Google Maps stops, but I do think it's interesting that this here changes to Greene County. So the 3500 block of Van Hill Road is literally right here at the county line, right over the county line. I'm not sure what that means, but it doesn't really feel like a good thing. Um, okay, so we come up a little further, and I think I brought you down here already, but we'll just get to the next mailbox that has a number. And I think it was 3570 something, 3573 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, 3537. So we're in the 3500 block. This here is absolutely the area that they are searching in. Um, wow, okay. So this is where the TBI has stationed their search. Huh. All right. Horses, guys. We have tree trimmers. We have a horse trailer. Um, okay. This is pretty much the spot for those that might not know how to get on Google Maps. Sorry if this was boring. It might have been. I'm tired laying down, so I haven't done this yet today. I've been offline all day, so I just actually laid down and I had some time. Um, So you can see where people have some logging stored up. I'm really glad that the TBI is out here and the FBI. I find it interesting that just the wording of the article that I read today is interesting to me. Um, and then I think this is the mailbox that is blurred out and we can't see the number. And we cannot rely on the actual address down below because, again, it's not accurate. I'm going to see what this property transaction may have been if it was sold. Is there a name on this? East Tennessee homesource.com. The McCray Real Estate Group. I know there's a name on that, I think. Yeah, I can't. See something. Yeah, I can't see the name on that. All right. Uh, I'll upload this just like this so people can get a look at it and hope that this is helpful for the people that might not know where 3500 is. I know there are some people struggling to figure it out because of the Google Map address, so hope this was helpful.